All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Mashiach Yahweh Shah, Barakatha, Hallelujah. We back at it again. Today we're going to go over a topic called, Are You Sick? Or You Sick? Which is a question. Again, I'm your brother Yaki. To the right of me is my brother Uriel.
Shalom.
So we going to get into basically asking the question, are you sick? And you don't have to answer this question through the comment board or none of that. Just seek within inside yourself and ask yourself, are you sick? So basically, we're going to talk about and go over something we use loosely and not a lot, and it's called melanin. What melanin is a carbureted particle that brings life. A lot of people say it's what makes up your skin pigment. You know what I'm saying? It's what makes us dark. All right, we understand this is what makes a lot of the black races dark, but we're not talking about that melanin. There's three different types of melanin. You have a solid melanin, which is a crystal carbonized melanin that lies beneath the skin. Then you have a liquefied melanin. That's what goes to your fluids in your blood. And then you have a gasified, which is gas melanin, and this is when you breathe in and breathe out. Melanin consists of anything. It's inside of everything. It's in the animals, the plants, the trees, the dirt, the ground, and it's in you. And yes, white people have melanin too. So we're talking about the melanin. What makes a man black, what makes an Israelite man, is the melanin that you measure that's inside the man, not outside the man. So yes, Noah was a melanated brother. Even though he had light skin and he had that so-called, what y'all call leprosy, he was a melanated brother. So me and this brother right here, I wouldn't call him light skin. I'll call him a light caramel complexion, and I'm dark brown. But me and him will have the same amount of melanin, because they measure it based on your blood and the crystallized carbon melanin that's in your skin. So that's what melanin is. It's carbon. Carbon makes everything dark. That's why like things like cauliflower is bad for you, because it has no carbon, has no melanin, meaning it don't have life in it. Corn, the yellow corn you see, have no melanin. It produces or causes no purpose. That's why it's not supposed to really go down your throat. You got different types of corn, but that's not the corn that we eating today. Has no melanin. It don't give life. It's not purpose. So I just wanted to clear that. So yes, everybody have melanin in them. Everybody have carbon in them, because it produces life. If it don't have melanin, it don't have life. But a lot of GMO foods are made without life that don't have melanin, and this is where you get your GMO foods from, like corn. It's not the corn that we see. Corn is actually black. It's actually black. Carrots, them carrots you see, them are GMO. They have no melanin. Carrots are actually dark purple.
Yeah.
So once you really start getting an understanding of melanin, and it brings life, and your body is made of it. This is what your body secrete. We're going to get more deep into it as we start getting into the lesson. But once you really start seeing it, this is what your body secrete, and this is what signify life, then you will be able to understand if you're sick or not. So, are you sick? So with that being said, let's get to it. We're going to start with Isaiah 1 and 5. Remember, the Bible is a scientific book. It speaks on anatomy. It speaks on science. It speaks on the cosmos. It speaks on the psyche. I mean, anywhere you want to go, any type of category, you can make up a category, and the scripture talks about it, because there's no such thing as a new thought. Anything that you think of is already in the book. This is the book of manifestation. That's what it is. So let's get it. We're going to go to Isaiah 1. Let's start at Isaiah 1. And we're going to start at 1. Let me get there first, though. Yeah. All right, let's get it done, Hebrew.
All right. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, king of Judah. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children.
Okay, so look, I have nourished and brought up children. I have nourished and brought up children. Look up this word nourish whenever you get a chance. You can keep reading, and then when we get done with this verse, you can see. So now we get into nourish. What y'all didn't know is sperm. Okay, a person that have sperm, right? Whenever a man shoots sperm into a woman, Inside this sperm is a black dot. If you look at sperm, it's a head to the sperm and it's an actual tail to the sperm. The head to the sperm is the actual consciousness, the brain. The tail to the sperm is called the vertebrae or your spinal cord. Yeah. So if you actually take a man's brain and spinal cord from outside of his vehicle, which is his body, it still look like what it was when it was in his father's sack, which is a sperm cell. Well, inside this sperm cell is a little black dot. Guess what that black dot is called? Melanin. So for a person who shoot blanks, he shoot this sperm, but he's missing the melanin. He's missing the black dot. So now you see what nourishing, what you do. You have a baby and a mother do what? Nourish the child, nourish that melanin, right? So that is why we're called the chosen seeds of God, because we produce the most melanin amongst the so-called African Americans. And the reason why you don't even have to be a science to see that, because the person that produces the most melanin, okay, this is exactly how it happened. You have your pituitary gland and you have your pineal gland. Okay, your pituitary gland is called a master gland. It produces and it gives food and nutrients to all the other glands in your body, like your thyroid glands, your prostate, that is a gland. You have all these different glands in your body, right? And the pituitary gland secretes and gives it nutrients. Well, once the pituitary gland secretes and gives it nutrients, all these nutrients funnel back up the glandular highway and goes into your pineal gland. Once it hits your pineal gland, it breaks down. Well, when this pineal gland breaks down its nutrients, it secretes something called melanin or carbon. So once this pineal gland is open, that means it's stimulated to light. That's why it says he's a bright guy, or what they say, Eureka, the light bulb came on. That's because your third eye see lights, and we see that in Matthew 6. Would you pull that real quick before we even get to the lesson? Because I need y'all to understand what melanin is, because melanin is everything that you are made of. This carbon gives you life. So once your pineal gland is open, it starts secreting all this melanin. Well, the more it secretes, the more it gives back. So the more melanin it feeds, the bigger your pineal gets, And amongst the so-called black Americans, we have the largest pineal gland of any other race, even the Africans. So everybody asking, okay, what benefits you being a melanated person? This what benefits you to being a melanated person. The bigger your pineal gland is, the bigger your pituitary gland is. They work one in one. There are two master glands. Well, the bigger your third eye is, the more you can see into your spiritual realm. So not only do you have the most spirituality, you have the most activity. You good in sports. You jump the highest. You run the fastest. You sing the best. Because this thing is based off of rhythm. So you have the most rhythm. That's why you can dance. That's why you coming up with all these different dances. You are. Notice the white man ain't coming up with this. Notice these Africans ain't coming up with these dances. And you influence everybody. This is how we know. Now, you don't have to be a scientist, but this is how we know that the so-called African American Negro have the most melanin amongst all other dark races, is because we influence the world. We run faster than anybody. If you look at stages, who up on these stages? So-called Negroes. If you listen to the radio, who on the radios? So-called Negroes. Paintings, Negroes. You know what I'm saying? We the most athletic. We the most talented. We the most spiritual. And we influence the entire earth. Africans don't do that. Not taken away from Africans, but they don't do that. We built Egypt. That should let you know we was in Africa building Africa. We built Egypt. The Egyptians didn't build Egypt. We built it. So to let you know where the melanin really stands at. Come on here, bro.
You go to Matthew 6.
Yeah, we're going to go to Matthew 6. We still on topic, y'all. I just need y'all to understand what melanin is before we really start talking about it, because this is going to determine whether you sick or not. Anything that goes against your melanin goes against your life. Anything that goes against this carbon that builds and make up life goes against you. It goes against you. And basically what destroyed this thing is negative thinking and sin. And we're going to get to it. But I need y'all to understand the scientific part first. That way, once we're going through these scriptures, you see like, dang, the Most High been talking about this the whole time. Come on here, bro.
And Matthew chapter 6, verse 22. The light of the body is the eye.
He says the light of the body is the eye. If you actually look up this word, eye, it says singular. the eye of the mind, the eye of the soul. So it's not talking about these two retinas that's in the middle of my head. It's talking about my pineal gland. You know, your pineal gland actually have a eyelid on it. It's really an eye, and it's shaped like it's the size of a pea. And it's shaped like a pine cone. That's where it gets its name from, pineal gland, your third eye. And this is what secretes melanin. The bigger it is, the more melanin it secretes. And the more smarter you are, the more intelligent you are, the faster you can run, the faster you can jump, the more these hero abilities you have. That's why when you get up into all these comic books, they're talking about so-called Negroes, Hercules, the strongman, Samson. They talk about the man that can run fast. They call him Flash. That's Judah. He said he ran faster than gazelles. So you really start getting into the scripture, you will start seeing that the so-called white man, this caveman, based all his information off the most melanated people on the planet, which is Israel, which is us. Come on, Hebrew.
It's just a caveman.
Get the caveman.
All right, Matthew 6:22. The light of the body is the eye.
Mm-hmm.
If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light.
You hear that? So if your eye's single, if it's on a straight and narrow path to the kingdom, if it's on pure righteousness, if it's single, it's not following other gods, it's following one. And that's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh, Yahu. If it's following that guy, it's full of light. Remember, we just talking about the pineal gland? It secretes and stimulates from light. From light. That's why it says he was blind, but now he can see. The truth shall set you free. You're not in bondage no more. You're not in darkness. He separated light from the darkness. This is the light he's talking about. The pure light that was in the beginning. In Genesis 1:3. Not on the fourth day, but on the first day, which is Christ. That's what sets off this pineal gland. And it's made off of frequencies and vibrations. This is a scientific book. Come on, you bro.
But if thine eye be evil, the whole body shall be full of darkness.
You hear that? So if your eye be evil, your whole evil is destruction. It's calamity.
Yeah.
Your whole body should be full of what? Darkness. Darkness is a sickness. It's a dis-ease. It's calamity. It's sickness. It's illness. These things is what actually destroy your pineal. Destroy your pineal gland, which secretes your melanin. So let's get into this melanin, which what they call the God particle. Y'all seen and heard of the Hydro Collider? What they doing over there? Right. How they putting all these God particles? They putting atoms. Atoms break down to protons, neutrons, electrons. These are particles that make up an atom. Well, these particles are called melanin. Look it up. Just look it up. It's carbon. They're putting these 2 carbon particles inside this machine that spins faster than the speed of light, and they crashing them into each other. Guess what these things are making? Dark matter, or what? Portals, which is called a black hole. Y'all know that's what the cosmos is created off of? Dark matter. Well, what makes up matter? Protons, neutrons, electrons. What makes up protons, neutrons, electrons? Melanin, the God particle.
All found in man.
All found in man. And if you actually, Maccabee sent me something, man. If you actually break down the word melanin, man, like and do them in the Hebrew letters, bro, it come up to 6, man. And man was created on the 6th day. Come on now.
Yeah, sharpen that.
Hey, bro, mind blowing. Mind blowing. Come on with it. Mind blowing. So let's get back to that.
I cannot make this up.
Yeah, let's get back to that Isaiah. Right. So look, let's get to the topic. You know what I'm saying? Not that we off the topic. I just need y'all to understand it from a scientific point. So let's go on and get into these scriptures. And remember, the question is, are you sick? The whole time I'm asking you this, think just about melanin and God particle, carbon, which makes up you. Right. This is what makes you healthy. And how do you feed this melanin, which makes up you? And how do you destroy it? Let's get to it. Let's scripture answer.
Right. All right, verse 2 again. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 2 again. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me.
You hear that? Says he nourished and brought up children, and then they turned their backs. How would you feel? You give birth. You put your sperm in your wife. She birth a child. You raise him and nourish him up. And then he get to a certain point, he just don't need you no more. He just like, it is what it is. He spit in your face and turn around and rebel against you. Huh? How would you feel about that? Come on.
The ox knoweth his owner.
You hear that? It says an ox know his owner.
Right.
Just like a dog. A dog know his master. You say, come here, boy. Don't it come? Huh? You feed it. It follow you around. It don't follow nobody else around. It protect you. Somebody break up in the crib. Guess who at the what they call them? The suspect first. The dog is. So it says an ox know his owner. Come on.
And the ass is master's crib.
And the ass know his master's crib. But how did you forget your God? How did you forget the one who created you? Everybody know they role and they position but the Negro. How is that? Again, that's what you call a what? That's called a sickness. Everybody, nature knows, animals knows, insects knows. Everybody knows the universal law. Everybody knows what governed them. But when it comes to us, the so-called Negro, Israelites, knowing who governed them, they don't know no more. But again, remember, melanin makes you smart. We possess the most melanin amongst all people. We have more carbon in our body than any other nation on planet Earth, which means we're more intelligent than anybody. So how is it that we're more intelligent than everybody on this earth, but we the only people that don't know our Father and our Master? That is what you call a mental illness, a sickness. Come on.
But Israel do not know, my people do not consider.
You hear that? Everybody know. Everybody following the line but Israel.
Now he said my people.
My people. They don't consider. They don't consider. Now you really understand what sottish mean. Stupid don't mean that you just duh. Stupid just mean that you're choosing to be ignorant and unaware of. That's called a sickness. That's a mental illness. Or you sick? Do you know who your God is? Or you serving your God? Or you destroying your melanin, destroying yourself, destroying your nutrients? What are you doing? Or you sick? Come on.
A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity.
You hear that? Laden with iniquity. Meaning, we read that in Jeremiah 17. It says, who should know your heart? Your heart is desperately wicked above all things. It's written on the tables of our heart. Desperately wicked. Who y'all think taught the dark nation sin to be taught back to us? Where you think sin came from first? Everybody want to blame the crack of the white man for their sin. Where did sin start at? It started with the house of Israel. I mean, we all know in the spiritual realm it started with Hashatan, right. But I'm talking about amongst people. It started from who in the garden? Adam and Eve, Adam and Hawa. Come on.
It says a seed of evildoers.
A who?
A seed of evildoers.
Back to that seed, back to that spermin. That sperm, a seed of evil doings. Just like I was saying, you look at sperm inside this seed, it's a black dot. That's melanin. It started with that. Seed of evil. We planting sin of evildoers. Guess what? You plant a sin tree, guess what's going to rise up? Sin. And guess what you got to do with trees like that? You can't just cut them down. You got to pluck them from the roots. You have to. Because it's destroying everything it comes into contact with. It's like weeds or vines. It grows everywhere uncontrollably. Come on.
Children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
Come on.
They are gone away backwards.
You hear that? We went away backwards, letting you know that we was forward at one point in time. We was doing what we were supposed to be doing at one point in time. But we lost it somewhere. We became sick somewhere. We became sick. And the crazy thing is when a normal person gets sick, right? Israel, the Negro gets sick today, they call 911 or they go searching for the medicine cabinet, right? But we get sick in the spirit and we don't call on our real doctor, Yahushua, the healer of nations. Ain't that crazy? That's called a sickness. Physically, you will run and you get medicine. Physically, you will even call off work to stay at home and get rest.
Individual people.
Huh? But when it comes to the spirit, though, you won't call on nobody.
Because you can't see it, you won't believe.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Lack of faith.
Right.
Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 5. Why should ye be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick.
The whole head is what?
Sick.
It says the whole head is sick. Guess what's inside that head? That pituitary gland, that pineal gland, which secrete melanin. It says your whole head's sick. If your whole head's sick, that means your God particles are sick. Because this is what makes up life.
No.
Let's look up this word sick.
I got you. This is H2483. Says choli or coli, sickness. Originated from H2470. To become or become weak. To become or become sick. Become or become diseased.
Disease.
Right.
So for the wages of what? Sin is sickness. Because sickness brings death. Come on.
It says to become weak, feel weak. To become sick, become ill. Entreat. To make oneself sick. To be made sick.
To be
tired.
To be made sick, to be tired. Is there any
Yeah, to make sore. It said to show signs of sickness. Become sick. To grieve. To be wounded.
Actually read the Strongs.
The Strongs. This is a primitive root compared to H234. It said probably to be rubbed or worn. Hence, to be weak, sick, afflicted. Or to grieve, make sick. Also to stroke. Flattering.
To who?
Stroke. Entreat, besiege.
Disease. So this stuff, look, sin brings disease. That's why every time he healed somebody from a sickness or from a disease, he said, go forth and what? Sin no more. We bringing this upon ourselves by steady sinning, steady breaking laws, statutes, commandments.
Man, you put the ball in your court, man. See what you gonna do.
Come on with it.
Verse 5. Again. Why should you be stricken any more? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the heart faint, and the whole heart faint.
Come on.
From the sole of the foot, even unto the head, there is no soundness in it.
You hear that? So it's saying from the sole of our foot to the head is sick. There's no soundness in it. Huh? Like a sound doctrine is sick. It's off balance. Our whole body is sick, and our whole body is sick is because it's laden with sin. So we see that sin makes us sick. But let's get deep. Let's get in the chemistry. Let's get scientific of what this sickness, what sin is really doing to us. It's really killing us. Really. Negative thoughts. So a man thinketh, so is he. All these negative things in it, thinking it messes with our minds. It gives us anxiety, which is signs of sickness. Huh? It gives you stress, which is signs of sickness. Gives you decay, which is signs of sickness. Gives you sores and boils, which is signs of sickness. Cancer, a sign of sickness. Mucus, a sign of sickness. All of these are signs of sickness. So we got to start looking up these words and really get into it. So let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28, start at verse 20.
I got you.
Let's get her done. Or you sick. It's gonna start picking up in a minute, y'all. We gotta lay this groundwork. Matter of fact, start at 15 real quick. Then we're gonna jump to 20.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe upon thee and overtake thee.
I'll read it again, boy.
Verse 15 again. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
That all these what?
Curses. Shall come upon thee.
Look up the word curses. So it's saying, God's saying, I'm finna give y'all some commandments. If though none of these commandments get followed, I'm finna put curses on y'all. But it's a flip side. If y'all do these commandments, I'm going to give y'all blessings. Well, curses is a part of sickness, and we're going to read it. So he's basically laying it out like Uriel was just saying. He's giving us the ball in our court. What you going to do with it? You going to take it to the hole? Huh? Or you going to foul out? Like, what you going to do with it?
Sit on the bench.
Or you going to bench ride? Yeah. Right. Come on with it. Curses.
All right. It's H7045. It says, Kila, how you say that?
It says,
Kilala?
yeah,
Kilala, curses, vil affections, excretions. That's all they got for that.
You gotta give you Strongs.
Yeah, the Strongs, it says...
Yeah, always read those. I'll give you one.
Nope.
I'm going to the root word.
I'm going to the root. It says, kalal. It says to be slight, be swift, be trifling.
Be trifling, dang.
All right. Be of little account, be light. To be slight, be abated. To be swift, to be trifling.
So to be low.
Mm-hmm.
Look up the word trifling real quick. We like to look up words. Let's actually get the meaning of this stuff. What trifling say? Or you sick. What's really going on with us? What's really happening to our bodies? Sound like it's sin. We need to turn back and get back to the Lord. It's killing us. As a whole people and as individuals, sin is killing us.
It says trifling. It says unimportant or trivial. Or it says unimportant, insignificant, petty, minor, consequence, footling.
Footling. So it just means lower. You're low. You're being made low.
Incidental, silly, idle, small, tiny, inconsiderable.
Right, being made
Being
low.
low.
That's enough. All right, let's get it. So all these curses gonna come up on you. Come on with it. We're gonna jump to verse 20. Deuteronomy 28, verse 20.
Verse 20, it says, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of thy wickedness.
You hear that? So he's going to destroy you for your wickedness. Same as Sodom and Gomorrah. He destroyed them for their wickedness. Same as the days of Noah. He destroyed them for their wickedness.
Right.
Same with us. He's going to destroy you physically, in your body, and in your mind, and then destroy this whole place for its wickedness. So we must change that, because the sickness starts first. That is the symptom. Before death, the symptom is sickness. Just like to the doctor, they say, what are your symptoms that make you sick? Well, with God, sickness is the symptom before death. Because the wages of sin, which is skin or sickness, equals death. It brings death. We're bringing death to our own bodies. We're bringing death to our own bodies by going against our God. And you can tell that. Just think of the dietary law. Melanin needs nutrients. Well, there's certain type of things that feed your actual pineal gland. That's why he gave you the dietary law. If you actually read in Genesis, he said the first meats was what? The herbs and fruits of the trees. Most of these things, if you look up these herbs, it neutralifies your melanin. But we taking away the herbs, and now we eating all this meat. Now people don't want to get rid of the pork. Well, what pork do is it gives you worms. You know what pimples are? If you actually look up the word pimples and get real deep into the science part of pimples and blackheads, them are worm butts coming out your face. That's why when you bust them, it's pus. Look this stuff up. Don't even take my word for it. So you see the worms, and then you start signifying, you start getting deep into the worms, and then you hear about a place, the worm that dieth not, where death is. And you have worms, tapeworms, hookworms in your body for eating an abominable food. So it all happens in you first before it manifests in the spiritual realm. It starts from the spiritual realm, it goes to the physical, then it goes back to which it came. So yes, it's worms that dieth not. When you die and your body go to the grave, what eats your body up? Worms. When you go to the lake of fire, that's where the worm dieth not. Now you see the significance and the connection of the worms from eating pork. And then notice whenever they conquer, whenever these heathens conquer us, what they do to our temple and our altar. They take the swine. Look, they take the blood of swine and they put it all over our temple. They make us eat it. What do this do? They shorten your connection with the higher power. And your pineal gland is your antenna, your connection to the God, to the gods, to the Elohim, to Yahweh. So once that gets saturated with pig blood and pig butt, then how you gonna holler? How you gonna holler at the heavens? How you gonna call on Yahweh Zabaoth, the heavenly host? So you even see that the dietary law was set up for you to feed this pineal gland, this melanin, the body, the nourishment. Because remember, melanin is carbon. If you look at any, carbon is life when it comes to the black man's body. That's just what it is. Look this stuff up. Don't take my word for none of it. And it's linking right to script. Wait till we get deeper into this script. So are you sick? And why are you sick? And then do you call on the doctor? Know your symptoms first and then go holler at Yahweh. And get it together. Stop sinning. Because it's bringing death. You're messing up your body. You're messing up your body and it's your choice. That is called a sickness. To know something is killing you and to still do it. That's a sickness. That's a mental illness. In Crackerland, they'll put you in a loony bin somewhere and force feed you medicine. But we just walking around willy-nilly and doing it in the spirit. Makes no sense. That's an illness. Come on, Hebrew.
And look, I got what we had looked up before, just curses. I found cursed. Cursed means aurora.
What's the concordance for the numbers?
8779. It says to curse. Cursed be he. It says to be cursed. To curse. Lay under a curse. Put a curse on. To be made a curse or be cursed. It says the Strong's definition. It says a permanent root to execrate. Bitterly cursed.
Bitterly cursed. We got to get from up out of this. Only way you can come from up under that curse if you stop sinning. Come on. We're going to go to 20 to 24, then we're going to jump.
Verse 20 again. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand until for to do, until thou beest destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of thy wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. And this verse here lets you know, like, people always want to blame Satan. He says, because of your sins that you have committed.
Right.
And you forsaken me.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? It's like we're giving ourselves the disease and then crying about it.
Right.
It's crazy, man.
Verse 21. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it.
Come on.
The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption and with a fever.
And with what?
A fever.
Now, what you get before you get sick? What is one of the symptoms of being sick? A fever.
Right.
Huh? So he's making you sick for your sins. Now you get a fever. Start sweating, get hives. Your sickness is coming on. So you see that now this is people from sinning that's finna start becoming physically sick for sinning. Fever. You know what a fever do? A fever heightens up so much, it gets so high that it starts destroying melanin. Your body is only supposed to be between 98 to 99 degrees Fahrenheit. That's it. Anything lower, it becomes cold. Now the pneumonia in your body start heating up. This causes a fever. Then it gets too hot. And it starts boiling over. Now you're getting hotter again. Now the same pneumonia that works inside a caveman or a white boy, when it gets real cold, guess what it do? His start boiling. Or when his get real hot, it start becoming freezing temperature. That mixed with sulfur makes it smell called a dog. That's why you can see them when they in the winter. They run around with shorts on, and that's why when water hit them, they start smelling like dogs. Because this same chemical that's in their body is chemically imbalanced. Chemically imbalanced. Well, when we start sinning, guess who you become like? You become like the white man, and your chemicals start being unbalanced. Now you're getting fevers because your ammonia count is getting too low, and your sulfur count is getting too high. This is called being melanin deficient. Now you're becoming melanin deficient because you choose to sin when you was created with the most melanin. So now you see when your melanin get affected, you get affected because melanin produces life. Now you become like a caveman. You might as well be running around here with tails and being hairy like them. Huh? Because you want to sin. But then blame all the cracker for your sin though. Makes no sense whatsoever. Come on.
So you saying we become Esau by the mind?
Yeah, you become Esau by the mind. Like you still got the Greeks.
Right.
Greek mentality. Okay. Greeks by the alpha, beta, Kappa Phi Alpha. Whatever. I don't even know how to say it. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
It says, verse 22 again. The Lord shall smite thee with consumption, with a fever, and with a inflammation.
Inflammation. This next. Once you get a fever, guess what happens? Inflammation. Things start to swell. Start to swell up. That's why when you go to the doctor, they say, well, when the swelling goes down, this sounds like a sick man. Something is happening. First you get a fever, then you get inflammation. Things start swelling. Skin starts swelling and fat starts swelling around the joints. That's how bodies lock up. When you get fever, that's where blisters come from. That's where boils come from. Now you got inflammation, swelling, and fever. This sound like a sickness. All of this started from what? Sin. Now, do you know when things are swelling, your blood can't circulate right? Now, remember I was talking about liquefied melanin, solid liquids in glasses. Now the melanin can't actually go and circulate through your blood, right? Because your bloodstream is pumping different because certain things of your body is swollen. When certain things get swollen, guess what the blood do? It rushes to that point to try to create circulation. You're destroying yourself. You're destroying this very God particle, which is the reason why he chose us in the first place, because you want to sin. Yeah. You're bringing sickness to yourself, and sickness equals death if you don't find the cure. And we all know the cure is what? Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Come on.
With burning, and with the sword, and with blasting.
And with what?
With blasting.
Come on.
And with mildew.
And with mildew. Mildew, mold. For those that work on houses, abandoned houses, you see what mold is. Your body possesses mold. It's called fungus. So you see, he's talking about your body. Too much fungus. Have you ever seen people with toenail fungus? Or they get fungus in the back of their throat, their breath stink a lot? Or being their skin, their nails get real dark? All these are called a sickness. They have things now where you can take medicine and pills to cure fungus. But guess what actually cures it? Pure salt water. Sea salt water will cure your toes instantly. So you see how he gave us natural herbs and remedies to cure your body, but you want to run to the doctor. Same thing with the spiritual sickness. You run to the white man and you don't run to God. That's our problem. Well, our problem is we sinning in the first place and we bringing the sickness upon us. So he says he's going to get us with blasting and mildew, mold, fungus, which is inside your body. Look it up if you don't believe me. Come on.
And the heaven that is over their head shall be brass.
You hear that? So it says when you get to this sickness, once you start getting sick and you start feeling this melanin deficiency in your body, you feeling your rhythm is off. You're not in sync no more, and you finally boiling over, holding your stomach, wondering what's going on. It says then you're going to try to holler at God. It ain't no more doctors no more. They can't do nothing. It says, but when you try to holler at him, them heavens going to become like brass. You know what brass do to sound waves? Sound waves don't get through brass. Vibration don't get through brass. So that means you can't even holler at the cure because you are willfully sinning. You're willfully being sick. It's like overdosing off medicine purposely, then calling 911. It's what you're doing. He shut the heavens up because you continue to sin. Remember, it was talking, and Isaiah says that we were laden with sin and iniquity. And God can't do what? He can't hear sinners. Boy, thank God for Christ. I'm telling you. Come on.
It says, and the heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron.
Shall be iron. You know what this sound like? A modern day jail cell. A modern day cage.
Like prison box.
A prison box. You can't even holler at earth where your herbs is. That's iron now. How you gonna get your herbs? How you gonna meditate? How you gonna ground out? You can't holler at Mother Earth or Father Abba, Yah. You can't holler at Mama or Daddy because you choose to be stupid and sinful, which has brought you this sickness. And your two cures is iron and brass. Can't even get to them. Make it make sense. It don't make sense because that is called a sickness. That's a mental illness because you brought these things upon yourself. Make no sense at all. What we looking like?
We got 14 minutes.
All right, come on, let's get it. We're going to jump. Once you get down with 24, we're going to jump to 58.
All right, verse 24. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust.
You hear that? What Israel looking like right now? Like a dust bowl, just like Egypt. All the vegetation used to be there. So we see that these prophecies came to pass. So now people that left, because the thing is, he took us from our homeland, right? Because this the thing. Okay, you have an A-type body, right? What are we doing eating B-type food? Huh? And that was the whole point. Take these Negroes off their diet and take their identity away from them, and it'll destroy their melanin. Right? So what they do is they take you from your land where all your herbs and your food was at anyway. If you still want these curing herbs, you realize you have to call into Africa and get them mailed to you. You got to get this stuff mailed to you. Well, the thing about where we was at in Africa is it's a dust bowl now. We can't even get the nutrients that we wanted, letting you know that it ain't no escaping this curse. There ain't no escaping it. Everywhere you go is a dust bowl. They eating dirt cake pies in Israel right now. And over here, we eating what you call McDonald's hamburger, which equals a dirt cake pie. They probably better off eating a dirt cake pie. For real, we eating rubber McDonald's burgers that they put molten lava on and don't even melt. All kinds of crazy stuff going on out here. So we see that in most of this stuff, plastic rice. You see, they always try to attack our diet. Always try to attack that diet because they know if you feed that melanin properly, you nourish and nurture that melanin, that carbon properly, you back a God in the flesh, like what we were. We was God manifesting in the flesh. Then Christ said, did I not say that ye were gods, but you're going to die like man, fall like one of the princes? Whole thing is to keep you away from your carbon. And this carbon is what the universe is made of. And guess who created the universe? Guess who's the universe? Guess who's the cosmos, which what we call heaven? What's a part of that? What's a part of the Hashemayam? You got the angels, the angelical beings. You have the sun, the moon, the stars. You are created with all the particles that these things are created with. And all of these are off of rhythm. All of these are off of vibration. All of them are off an actual turn of an axle. And that's what your pineal do. It bounces around in this watery space in the third ventricle. And the third ventricle is this watery space. Your pineal is the size of a pea. And it bounces around in there and it spins on an axle. It's a rotation. Well, guess what this rotation is spinning as? The same rotation as what? Earth, sun, moon, fire. All of these elements. So you see how much you're connected with the cosmos, how much you're connected with the heavens, how much you're connected with animals, every living thing. If an animal have melanin and his is spinning right, you're connected with that animal. Your brother, if both of our pineal glands, they spinning on the right frequencies, he don't have to say nothing. I feel what he going through. He get hurt, I feel his pain. That's how connected we used to be because we all was one at one point in time. Now all this sin and sickness have messed up our vibration. Everybody on a different frequency now. Huh? We supposed to be on a high B frequency. Huh? High B frequency. That's why when you hear a high B tune note, have you ever heard of notes, music healing, vibrational healing? They heal you through music. Didn't David do it? He soothed the savage beasts when he was playing the harp. The walls of Jericho, didn't they get blown down by trumpets? So we see all of this is talking about melanin, the vibration, how it activates and wake up and it secretes light and gives you stimulation. These what keeps you healthy, light. We're not children of darkness. We're sons and daughters of light. Well, you can't have no light in your body if your eye is defiled. It says the whole body is defiled and is filled with what? Darkness. That's called a sickness because now you're melanin deficient. You're just like the white man at this point. Coming from the caves. Why you think they like to eat in restaurants with the lights dim? Because they come from caves. They liked it. All they had was a little fire pit inside a cave. That's how they ate. And when half the time they was eating, it was bloody. Bloody food. Why you think they like they meat medium rare? Huh? Then they say it's for protein. Ain't even a such thing as protein. That's a made up word. Protein is just another form of melanin. So you start really seeing these things, stuff starting not to add up. You really start to see yourself acting like them. You like the dark, you don't like the light. Huh? You like to eat in restaurants and dark caves. You don't like to be outside. You want to be in your house all day. We're outside people. You like tight clothes. They wear tight clothes. What we wore, it was loose clothes. We let ourselves breathe. We wear electrifying clothing. Huh? It was usually 100% cotton or 100% wool, something like that will actually generate electricity. Because we all know electricity comes from the earth. Everybody thinks that when a lightning bolt comes, it comes from the heaven. The charge comes from the heaven. The lightning bolt comes from the ground up. The charge come from the heaven. The calling of it do. He called the judgment down. Well, guess who respond to the calling? To the Father calling. Your Mother Earth. And the boat comes up. That's why when somebody gets struck by lightning, it hit their toes first. They always have a strike in their feet and outside their head or their shoulders, because it goes through their feet first and it comes out somewhere else. It's what you call grounding out. Whenever you want to get rid of negative energy, take off your feet, walk in the grass, wiggle your toes against Mother Earth. She'll cure you from that. She'll take all your anxiety and your stress. We don't use Mother Earth no more. Didn't he say that he gave the earth to be medicine unto us? We don't even use it no more. So the same way you nourish your melanin, they done took it away from you. You don't know how to do that no more. So now you taking chemical medicines, which make you chemically imbalanced, which equal melanin deficiency, huh? Or you don't say nothing to nobody, which is gonna make it worse anyway, right? Or you gonna run to pastor gonna ask for that collection plate. You know what I'm saying? All of these things, instead of running to the source, which is Mother Earth, that was given to us by who? Yahweh. But all of this starting from sin, from you sinning, from me sinning, from him sinning. All these sins got us sick. That's why we got to stop it. That's the cure. Quit sinning. What is the conclusion of the whole matter? Fear God and keep his commandments. He gave you the cure right there.
You make the shit harder than what it is.
Man, make it way harder, man. Come on. How many more minutes we got?
We straight, I guess.
No.
Verse 58. If thou would not observe to do all the words of this law, that are written in this book.
You hear that? That are written in what?
This book.
The book of the dead.
This book.
The Egyptology writing.
This book.
Kemet science writing.
This book.
This book. The Bible.
That's right.
Come on.
That thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name.
Come on.
That thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name. The Lord thy God. Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful.
You hear that? It's gonna make thy plagues wonderful. That means multiply them.
Yeah.
It's gonna be plagues you never even seen. You be like, how did that even happen? Them type of plagues. Come on.
And the plagues of thy seed.
Yeah, it's going back to that semen, bro. Back to that semen. Remember the semen where the consciousness is wrapped around the what? The spinal cord. That little black dot that's in there. That's the seed. That melanin. That carbon. You were chosen. Because you produce more than anybody else. Even the Africans. And remember, I'm talking to light. Look, Most High made Israel of many skin colors. Right. So just because you light skinned don't mean that you are melanin deficient. If you're sick because of sin, that's what means you're melanin deficient. But remember, we're judged and measured by the melanin that's secreted inside our skin, which is in your bloodstream, crystallized melanin, not the one that gives you pigment. This don't mean nothing. Me and him are the same color when you take our skin off. Because what? We have the same amount of melanin. Same amount. We practicing spirituality. We're real in tune with our music, with our words. We're trying our hardest to keep the commandments. We're following the Shabbat, the feast days. These is what actually secrete these things because it gives you spiritual nutrients to your pineal gland. Then we eating right. So our best bet, I bet you, ours probably measure about the same. It might be off by a little bit, but it's around the same. This what gives you melanin. This what gives it. This what makes your pineal gland big. Ours is the size of pea, right? Theirs the size of like man. If you actually look this up, the size of an actual white man pituitary and pineal gland. It is so little. Ours is only the size of a pea. And that's big according to science, according to the science. So theirs is half the fraction. Then you have something called the chakra or the sacro or chakra, however y'all want to call it. I'm not gonna get into semantics. Clusters. We have 12 clusters inside our brain. They only have 2. So with this 2, they created a language, right? Well, we have 12 of them. We spoke Hebrew, which got very deep into the depth of it. But now we're speaking and reading in English. That's why when somebody asks us a question, we can't even explain it right because we're trying to explain a 12 chakra clustered question within 2 clusters. It don't make sense. So we basically have to dumb down. They done dumbed down our English, our language so much that we can't even express how we really feel. So what we do it through rhythms. That's why we make songs. We do poetry. We like to express what we thinking through art. We paint pictures. We do body expression, language. You so many, look, even gangs, if we get into gang banging, they done created whole hand signs and signals to express what they feel because we've been narrowed down to a 2-clustered caveman language. Think about that. All of these is to go against and destroy your melanin. All of you, right? The ones that are healthy and conscious, they find out about you. When they find out about you, we have a 16-year-old basketball player, very dark, built in statue, tall, eats good. Let's go kidnap him. We gonna leave him in a desert somewhere missing his organs. Where everybody think that the organs go on black market. Most of them do. But half of them don't go on black market. They cracking these organs open because these organs is directly connected to your glands, your glandular highway. They cracking them open and taking all the melanin out of them. Then they putting them on the market and selling them for $454 a gram now. You know what I'm saying? So this is how much this melanin is to them. So if you know it's that important to them, because this is what makes them sustain life. They're missing the dot in their sperm. They're dying more than they're reproducing. They don't have the dot. Because scripture said they wouldn't have the dot. It says that he was going to give Abraham what? As many seeds as what? The stars.
Sure.
We got the dot. We ain't shooting blanks. We don't shoot blanks. Even as melanin deficient we becoming. All this alcohol drinking. All this smoking. All this not getting no nutrients, eating all the wrong foods. We still are not missing the mark. We're producing babies after babies after babies, showing you that we have the sperm with that black dot.
So you we them children.
We are them children of Israel. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to see through science. That's in the Bible. Or you sick. Or you melanin deficient. How are you a melanated person but you're melanin deficient? That's a sickness. Because your melanin is supposed to be up here. It's not supposed to be down here. It's down here. That's because you're doing too much sinning. Or even if you're sinning once, that's still too much.
No.
We got to get it back up here. The more you start knocking off them sins, it start rising. And that pituitary gland and that pineal, the pineal gland get bigger and bigger. Next thing you know, you seeing into the heavens. Remember it's talking about Adam and Eve in the book of Adam and Eve? Said the heavens were open. He can look and pray straight up. The angels used to go up and down on a mustard cloud. And when prayer time came, he looked up into the heavens and prayed with the angels. That is a big old pineal gland. That is an experience. And other than the Ruach, the best teacher is who? Experience. But if you were doing is experience sickness, then what you learning? Sickness. Right. Then what you give your kids? You teach them what? Sickness. Disease. Right. Calamity. Which bring forth what? Death. We got to get it together.
You got to train up your child, man.
Come on.
In the right way.
Where was it?
Verse 59 again. Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and thy plagues of thy seed, even great plagues of long continuance, and sore sickness.
And what?
Sore sickness.
Sore sickness. A part of this plague was sore sickness. Or you sick. Because all this came from sin. All of this came from sin. Come on.
And of long continuance.
Come on.
Moreover, he will bring upon thee all diseases of Egypt.
Notice he said Egypt, bondage. Egypt, bondage. Hold that right there and give me Exodus. Exodus 2:23-25. Bondage. Notice, soon as he said sickness, what did he link to this? Egypt. Misraim, bondage. Because bondage produces sickness. That's why most people in jail get sick. Because you're not eating right. You're not getting the right amount of water. Nutrients. Bondage, sickness. Go and read that, bro.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 23. And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage. And they cried, and their cry came unto God by reason of the bondage. And God heard their groaning. And God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them.
You hear that? So whenever you see Egypt, bondage, the house of bondage, write this down. You got Exodus 13:3, Exodus 20:2. And then go to Exodus 11. Exodus 11, read 6 and 7. So now we get into Egypt. Because this is where a lot of this sickness started from. A lot of sickness. Because we went to Egypt, we started following their ways, following all these other gods. Anybody that follow 500 different gods, that's a sickness. Why would you follow 500 different gods when there's one God? There's one that created all. Why would you worship the sun Ra and worship Haru, which committed incest, when you can just worship the person who created the sun? It makes no sense. That is called a what? A sickness. Huh? That's like me having a child and then bowing down and worshiping him.
Right.
Calling him God. When I created it, had him. That's a sickness, a mental illness.
Right, mental illness. Man.
Come on.
You say 11 and 6?
Yeah.
Exodus chapter 11, verse 6. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like, nor shall there be like any more. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
You hear that? So Egypt gonna be getting hit. Death gonna be upon Egypt. But any Israel that's listening, it says not even a dog gonna touch them. So a destroyer is coming through Egypt, destroying everything. But it says Israel won't be touched. So the Egyptians gonna get touched, but Israel ain't gonna be touched. These are two melanated people. I guess one melanin is more precious than the other.
That's right.
One of these God particles are more valuable than the other. Showing you that two melanated people, it's a difference between them. Come on, let's keep reading.
Against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord doeth put a difference.
Put a what?
Difference. Between the Egyptians and Israel.
Let's look at this word difference. So he put a difference between us and Egypt. It's a difference between Israel and Egypt. It's a difference between Israelites and Egyptians. But we're both melanated people. Somebody got the melanin. Somebody got the melanin popping. Somebody secreting more than the other. Who? Obviously we are. You don't see no Egyptians making songs and running the world. You don't see no Egyptians running fast, jumping hurdles, dunking balls, jumping 9 feet. So you see who is chosen seed. Look, chosen seed. What melanin he chose. Why we secrete more than anybody. Now you starting to see with scripture why we are them people. But you steady choosing to be sick. Destroying your melanin. Destroying your carbon. Destroying your body, your organs, your glandular highway. And all these things are connected to spiritual realms. That's why when somebody get demonically possessed, where's the first thing the demon go to? Their glances. Their organs. That's why you have to fast and starve them out. It's attached to some things. It's sucking your melanin. That's what it's feeding and eating off of. That's why you got to starve them out. Wash them out.
Fast them out,
Fast them out. Fasting and prayer. Best cure ever. We're going to read up on that too.
It says difference. It's 863.95. You good, bro? It says Pala. It says to be distinct.
To be what?
Distinct. Marked out. Be separated. Be what? Separated.
So it says to be distinct, marked out. That means he was like, out of all you black people, I'm going to pick out this black group of people. Distinct, meaning it's something that's just so different with them that's different from them. Separated, meaning all you people, I'm dividing.
She's dividing light from darkness. It says to be distinct, to be separated, be distinguished, be wonderful, to make separate.
To make what?
Separate. Set apart.
Set apart. We are set apart people. Whew. Well, didn't he say we was the apple of his eye? He chose us because we was what? Few? Not many?
Few numbers. Man.
Let's read Deuteronomy 7:6 real quick.
I got you.
And then we're going to get back on the topic. I'm just trying to show y'all this because, you know what I'm saying, one would say, well, don't melanin make all of us dark? What about the Africans? So wouldn't that make all of us one? All right, let's hit Deuteronomy 7:6. Get her done. Most High, you know we rep his son. Deuteronomy 7:6. So we showing he chose us for a reason. He chose us because we was a special, peculiar, set apart people. Deuteronomy 7, verse 6. Go ahead, Hebrew.
It said, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. the Lord thy God had chosen thee to be special people.
You hear that? So he said we are holy people. Look at the word holy. And he chosen us to be a special people. Special. Meaning you're something special. You're my special children, my special child. It's something just quite different from you. You're different from everybody. And what's different? We produce that substantial amount of melanin more than anybody. Anybody. That God particle is in us, embedded in us more than any other nation.
Right.
And that's for a reason. He chose us because we was few. We was few. Yeah, holy. We was few in numbers, but we was young. We had that oomph. We had that thing.
We had that melanin.
That melanin. Straight up. Come on, bro.
It says 8:69:18 says Kodash. It says sacred, holy, holy one, saint, set apart.
Kodash. Yeah, set apart. Come on, let's get it.
It says for the Lord, it says for thou art in the holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God had chosen thee.
Have what?
Chosen thee.
So he chose us. We didn't choose him. He chose us. Everybody be like, you chose God. No, I found God. When I found God, no, he found you.
Right.
Come on.
Didn't Christ say that?
Yeah, he said that.
It says chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. Above all people.
Above what?
All people.
So he put us above all people. Why is that? Why are we above all people? Above all people, above all nations. Huh? Why? Why is this reason? What is this reason? What makes us different? What makes us different is we was given the covenant. We was given the promise. But why was we given the promise? Off faith, belief, off the spirit. And as I said in the beginning of this video, your spirit, how big it is, it has something to do with how big your pineal gland is and how much your pineal gland is and how much melanin it secretes. The more melanin that your pineal gland secrete and the more big that your pituitary gland is, the vast your spirituality is. The more you believe into the unseen. It makes sense scientifically. That's all I'm showing y'all is that scientifically, this makes sense. Scientifically, this scripture is authentic. Scientifically, we can prove these things. And it don't even take a science to do it. Just look at our people and look at everybody else. Come on.
That's all you want for?
Yeah. I'm not read a little bit more.
All right, verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because you were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers.
Straight up. Come on.
Had the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen.
Out of the house of what?
Bondmen.
So it goes back to Egypt. How he took us from Egypt. Always talking about Egypt because Egypt is bondage. Bondage produce what? Sickness. Because while being in bondage, guess what you learn? You learn bondage things. What are bondage things? Religion. That stimulates from bondage. That is a product of being in bondage. Sickness is a product of being in bondage. Self-hate is a product of being in bondage. Breaking commandments is a product of being in bondage. Spiritual bondage being sold unto sin. Paul talked about it. Come on, where you at, bro?
Yes, sir.
All right, jump to 12, verse 12. I'm going to read 12 to 16.
Verse 12?
No, skip a chapter. Deuteronomy 7, start at 12. My bad, bro.
It's on me.
Yeah.
It says, wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments, and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he swore unto thy father.
Come on.
And he will love thee.
He will what?
Love thee. And bless thee.
Now it's the opposite side. Now he won't curse thee, but this time he will bless thee. Come on.
He will also bless the fruit of thy womb.
Bless the what?
The fruit of thy womb.
You hear that? He will bless. And look, our womb is already fruitful and blessful because we making babies like no other. Barakatahi, bro. We making babies like no other. So it says, if we continue to strive and follow his commandments, you'll bless thee. That means ain't nobody shooting blanks. That black dot is in every melanated sperm. Every one of them. Ain't nobody shooting blanks. Ain't no woman barren. Ain't nobody sterile. And we see that happen with who? With Sarah. Isn't that what happened? She believed. She followed the commandments. Abraham followed the commandments. He believed. And what happened from that? She made a baby. And then all the babies through the line, what came? The promised baby. Jacob. Isaac and Jacob. Huh? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. That's where the promise came through. A melanated race that secrete more melanin than anybody on planet Earth. Come on.
And the fruit of thy land.
And the fruit of what?
Thy land.
Come on.
Thy corn. Corn.
Remember we just talked about corn earlier. Now that corn is real. It's melanated. It's popping. Real corn. Not this yellow stuff that ain't got no melanin in it. Ain't got no carbon in it. Remember, whenever I say melanin, I mean carbon. Carbonized. Crystal carbon is what your body is made of. So we have to eat living things. Because we're a living body. It's electricity in our bodies. It's protons, neutrons, solids, liquids, gases. Our body's a big chemical plant. It's like a battery. We have to eat things that is charged by the same thing that we're charged by. So I have to eat live food. What are live food? Fruits and herbs. These are live things that we're supposed to eat. Like I said, you can't be a type body A and eating type B food. There's no component there. There's no connection. They can't feed off one another. We are people made to keep commandments. So why are you not keeping them? You have a commandment keeping body, but you're not keeping them. What that produces, a chemical imbalance. Now you're sick. Just like with your food. Same thing with these commandments. You were made to keep the commandments. You weren't made for the lake of fire. The lake of fire was not made for you, but there is a place for you. You was made to keep them. You was made to live forever. You are a God, but you're going to die like men. Come on.
Thy wine and thine oil, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep, in the land which he swore unto thy fathers to give thee.
Come on.
Thou shalt be blessed above all nations.
You heard that we should be blessed above all nations. Why are we blessed above all nations? The promise. The promise, the covenant. If we keep his commandments. He blessed us above all nations. He blessed us with more melanin than any other nation had. Even more than the other melanated people. That's why we influence the world. That's why we influence the Africans. Come on.
Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you.
You heard that? We just talked about that barren. That seed is going to multiply in the earth. Your melanin popping. Come on.
Or among your cattle. And the Lord will take away from thee all sickness.
Some sickness.
All sickness.
Just a little bit of sickness.
All sickness.
It says he's going to take away all sickness. And the reason why he's taking away all sickness is because you took away all what? Sin. Makes sense. See how the Bible speak on science? Isn't this a scientific proven fact that if you stop sinning, your body will heal? If you think positive, your body will be at a positive vibration. If you eat healthy, you live longer. These are scientific facts. Scripture been saying this for thousands of years. Come on.
And will put none of the evil disease of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee.
Now it just linked it up to Egypt again. Disease. This time it put the word evil in front of it. So notice whenever you think of sickness, disease, illness, and death, where is it springing from? Egypt. But everybody want to be Egyptians though. Everybody want to be Haru. And all these words that you ain't never heard before. Especially these women want to cleave onto there because, men drink their bath water when the Egyptians and do all that weird stuff. Drink period blood and all this demonic mess. Everybody want to be Egyptians now. Soon as a new brother wake up, now he want to run and he's an Egyptian. Negro, that's who had you in bondage. That's who sold you to the white man. What are you talking about?
Bondage to go back into bondage.
Right. Left bondage to go back into bondage. Left religion to go back into religion. Left chasing after other gods to go chase after other gods. Not celebrating Christmas no more. Now you're celebrating Sunday, Haru Day. What's the difference? We worship the one who created the sun.
Because I'm an Egyptian, brother.
Right. That's a sickness. So you're a walking sickness, brother.
Yeah, you walk in bondage, nigga.
Come on.
Weird. That's it for that.
All right, you read all over the 17?
Yeah, I read.
Let's get it. Let's go to Exodus 13:2. Exodus 13:2. Let's get her done.
I'm sure they want, man. That's what they want.
Right, you might will. Let's get that done. All right, let's get her done.
Exodus chapter 13, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast. It is mine. And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt.
You heard that? So he always saying, remember, we came out of Egypt. The Lord always saying, I stretched out my right hand and brought you out of the land of Egypt. He said it over 87 times. He was showing you, I got you away from sickness. I healed you. Huh? Who was the rock that followed them through the wilderness? Christ. He said, I gave you the healing rock. I gave you the rock of living water. I gave you the rock of bread. I brought you up out of Egypt, up out of sickness, up out of bondage.
He gave us the true alkalines.
Yeah, straight up. Them true alkalines. Straight up. Come on with it.
And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of the hand of the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten.
Here, no leavened bread. Leaven. Leaven yeast. Yeast represents sin.
Right.
That's why I said a little leaven leavens the whole lump. A little mucus sickens the whole body. The same analogy here. The same. If you actually get bound to it, it all go back to the health of the body.
Right.
The health of the body. Because we supposed to be practicing being inside of glorified bodies. Huh? Makes sense. Come on, let's get it. Let's go to Jeremiah 17. Jeremiah 17, 1 through 4. Jeremiah 17, 1 through 4. Let's get to it. Or you sick. Let's get her done.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 1. The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron.
So it says the sin of Judah was written with the pen of iron. A pen of iron meaning that it is firm. We just talked about this iron. How he's going to make the earth iron. Something firm is there. So our sins is written firmly. Come on.
And with the point of a diamond.
A point of a diamond is a laser, meaning it's permanent. Meaning we always sinning, which means that we will always be sick.
Right.
Come on.
It is graven upon the table of their heart.
Now it's graven on our minds. That's all we thinking about. What's inside your mind? Your pineal gland. So that means secreting sinful melanin particles. Self-destructing yourself. Come on.
And upon the horns of your altar.
And upon the horns of the altars. Come on.
Whilst their children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hill.
You hear that? Sacrificing to other gods. It always was a tree. Just like in the garden, it started with a what? A tree. Just like you bring December 25th, you bring a what into your house? A tree.
Right.
Which represents what? Another god. Sin. It's what got us here. It's what got us to this sickness. Come on.
It says, O my mountains in the field, I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil.
To the what?
To the spoil.
So look, remember, we was his jewels. He gave us everything. He gave us land. He gave us a language. He gave us jewels, riches, purple garments, clothes, hairpins, veils. We was a rich nation. He took all of that from us and gave it to our enemies. The spoil. They took it. They spoiled us. Meaning they came and robbed us of it. Huh? Come on.
O my mountains in the field, I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil, and thy high places for sin.
For what?
For sin.
For sin. This part is that sickness. You start losing things.
Right.
Come on.
Throughout all thy borders.
Throughout wherever you go. You ain't going to have nothing wherever you go because you chose to sin. Come on.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine
You
heritage.
said it, and thou even thyself. This is Yahweh talking. And thou even thyself shall discontinue from the heritage that what?
I gave thee.
That he gave us. What is a heritage? A heritage is a land. We're in America. Speaking English, huh? We come from Israel. So a heritage is a land. It's a language. It's a culture. It's a custom. And it's a God. We lost our land. We in America. We lost our language. We speak in English in America. We used to speak Hebrew. We lost our God. We worshiping Christmas trees. Bunnies not laying eggs. Halloween, Hallow evening, Feast of Jupiter. All these other sun gods going back to Egyptians. Where you think the horoscopes and all that come from? These are Egypt worshipings. It goes back to where we was in bondage at. Huh? Then a custom. What is our customs? Keeping our feast days, traditions. We not doing that anymore. Huh? Then our identity, our God. So we lost all these things due to sin. He took his heritage from us. And most of all, our bloodline. Our bloodline. We don't even know who we are no more. We think we're Egyptians. We think we actually from Egypt. We think we're Egyptians. When they taught us all this wicked sins, of course it came from us first, but they brought it right back to us. Now we worshiping Haru. Now we worshiping zodiacs. That's why he said, do not be dismayed at the signs of the heavens, for the heathen are dismayed at them. All these things are destroying your melanin. All these things are destroying your body, your molecules, destroying the particles, the God particle that's within you. Huh? You don't even know nothing about no alkaline no more. You don't know nothing about your land because you're not from your land. Well, guess what grew in your land? The herbs that we need. Guess what grew in your land? The milk and honey that we need. Guess what else grew in your land? Huh? The trees, the fruits that you need, the air, the sun. You're a melanated people. You need at least 4 hours of natural sunlight a day. Of natural sunlight. What you think prison cells was really built for? To keep you out of sunlight. You need to breathe in the real ruach. This artificial air, artificial lights. This is what causes cancer, mutation of cells. Because this is not where we come from. We learning sitting in desks. We sat in circles. With nobody above nobody. We wasn't walking in no lunch line eating. We went at recess time, guess what we did? We went and picked fruits from off of trees. We weren't eating processed bologna meats. So everything that you know has been taken from you. And all these things that you're doing now go against your melanin because of sin. He took us from our nutrients place, where the place where we were nurtured at, where Mother Earth was just good to us at. And he put us in a place of our enemies where they go against everything you do. They like excessive meat. We don't eat excessive meat. We're not supposed to. That's what causes colon cancer. Huh? They hate sunlight. They cavemen. We need sunlight. They love darkness. Too much darkness destroy our dark matter, which is your melanin. They like to shed innocent blood. We're a loving people. Always been a loving people. We learned the ways of the heathens. We acting just like the white man. We acting just like the Neanderthal now. We acting just like the caveman. Because of what? Melanin deficiency. Due to what? Due to sickness. Sickness come from what? Sin. Sin equals what? Death.
Hey, what angel over the white people?
Samael. Death. The death angel. The real boy. Telling you, and that's a whole different topic right there, boy. It makes sense and it all connects. Come on, bro. Where we at?
And another thing, man, if you really sit back and trip out like the Lord, bro, just like he wants everything he does is like in the center. On the simple fact, it's just like, all right, so your third eye is in the center of your mind. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom is within man.
Right.
We walked 40 years in circles
around the center.
And around it, and it's right, and it was right in the center. You know what I'm saying? Like a tension.
Right. The two trees was in the midst, the center of the garden.
Right. Christ is in the midst of men.
Yeah, you know the midst of man. Yeah. Good point out. Good point out. All praise.
It says where we at?
Read 4 again.
Verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger.
Yeah, so we kindled a fire. We kindled a fire in his anger. We done made him mad that what?
Which shall burn forever.
Which shall burn forever. So that means this is not going away. That means this is not going away no time soon. No time soon. Read 4 one more time.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage.
So we lost our heritage that he gave us, and what?
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
So now we not in our land no more. Now we serving our enemies. As you see, we wasn't in Israel. We was in Egypt. Now we're not in Israel again. We're in America. America KKK. United Snakes of America KKK. Come on.
For ye had kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
Which shall burn forever. So we see that we got where we going. We see how we getting sick from all these things. Let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs 3. Proverbs 3, 1 through 8. Let's get her done.
You said Proverbs 3?
Yeah, Proverbs 3, 1 through 8. All right, let's get it.
Proverbs chapter 3. My son, forget not my law.
You hear that? He start off, my son, forget not my law. Because these are things that keep you healthy.
Sure do.
Because these are things that give you life. So don't forget it. Because the moment you forget it, now you're unhealthy. You have sickness. Now you don't have life. You have death. Come on.
But let thine heart keep my commandments.
You're to let thy mind keep thy commandments. That's how you know the commandments are spiritual. Come on.
For length of days and long life.
You hear that? For length of days and long life. When you keep my commandments, you have length of days and long life. Meaning now your melanin is getting the right what? Nutrients and source.
Right.
You live longer. Because carbon is life. Melanin is life.
You trust in the Lord.
Trust in the Lord. And once you look at, we're gonna go there next. Once you get the description of Christ, it says, peep what it said. It says he had what? Feet onto fine brass, meaning dark brass, as if it burnt in a furnace, meaning it was dark browns. This was talking about copper, melanin. Guess what your body's made of? Copper. Copper. You have copper in your body. How you think you get static electricity? Rub on the carpet with some sweatpants on and touch somebody. It's called static electricity. Take off a sweater real fast after it comes from the dryer. You'll feel it staticking. Your body produces these things. Your body is a chemical plant. Your body is a battery. And you have to charge your battery with living charged food, which is called what? Herbs or meats in the beginning, which was called fruits, fruit of the trees. Not saying it's a sin to eat meat. It's a sin to eat unforgivable meat, like going against the dietary laws.
Right.
Not a sin to eat meat at all.
No,
but it's a sin to eat excessive meat. If you read throughout the scriptures, we was eating meat on feast days. We wouldn't eat meat with every meal. You have 3 meals a day, in which every meal you got a piece of chicken on your plate. We wouldn't eat like that. Because that destroys melanin. Everything is with balance. Everything. Come on.
Shall they add to thee? In peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about by thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart.
You hear that? Bind them around your neck. It's supposed to choke you out. So now you don't have a yoke of iron around your neck. Now you have a what? You have a yoke of commandments around your neck. You see how you replaced it? You see how you replaced that? It's got to be on your mind, your conscience. Positive thoughts. Thou shalt not kill. No, I'm not going to kill my brother. Now, I don't want his wife. I'm not finna steal from my brother. Why would I covet? I'm just going to work just as hard as him to get the same thing or maybe even better. He probably can put me on to something. Positive thinking brings out a positive outcome. You think your reality. You create what you speak. Abracadabra. Abraca. Blessed be thou my words. Abraca. You see what I'm saying? So positive thinking. Following the commandments, these lead a positive life, and all these are fueled by what? Your melanin, your carbon, your nutrients that's in your body, your pituitary gland, your pineal gland, your pineal gland. It all makes sense. It's all linking up. Anatomy. The Bible speaks on anatomy, science, metaphysical. It's a metaphysical book, meaning meta, beyond, means beyond, physical. Physical consists of protons, neutrons, electrons, beyond the body, beyond physical, spiritual realm, the unseen. Come on.
It says, so shall thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man.
It says, so shall what?
So shall thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man.
Come on.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart.
With some of it.
All thine heart.
You hear that? Your mind supposed to be on commandments and faith.
Right, sure.
With all of it. All day, every day. Come on.
And lean not into thine own understanding.
Because you lean into your own understanding, you're going to start taking medicine from the white man and not medicine from God, not medicine from the earth. You're going to start believing and trusting in the white man or the African man or whoever man, and not believing in who? Yahweh, and what thus says the Lord. Come on.
Who created man?
Who created man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. That's a sickness.
Yeah.
That is a sickness.
And then, like, man, you think about, like, shit, the diseases that... Alright, so prime example, like, say you got fucking anxiety, and then they give you a pill called Neurofax, and the side effects of Neurofax is anxiety. So
You're right.
They get paid off, you know what I'm saying, like the person, they get paid off the medicine. It's just like shit, nothing that you can never trust man on the simple fact you put all your trust in the Lord. Man has his flaws, and like with some of them, you know, hey, they just do the shit just for money.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's just crazy.
Hey, look, death is big business.
Right.
Disease is moolah to their pockets. Their whole thing is to get that while extracting your melanin, because they know that life. They gonna get that life up out of you, but the whole time they getting that life up out of you, they killing you. Come on.
They know the heavens in your DNA.
Yeah, most definitely. Say that again.
So they know the heavens in shit our DNA.
The heavens are in your DNA. Come on with it.
It says, be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil.
It says, do what?
Fear the Lord and depart from evil.
You fear the Lord and you depart from evil.
Verse 8, Proverbs 3 and 8. It shall be health to thy navel, and marrow to thy bones.
You hear that? It should be health to thy navel. What comes from your navel? In birth, that's where your umbilical cord is attached to. That's where all the nutrients come from the womb to the mother to the child. Same thing. It says when you keep the commandment, it should be help to thy navel. It's nourishing you. It keeps you alive. How you think the baby live for all those months in the belly? Yeah. Come on.
Zip it.
No, read it again.
Verse 8 again. It shall be health to thy navel, and marrow to thy bones.
And marrow to thy bones. Have you ever heard of bone, marrow, cancer? Sickness that gets to the bone. Or if you read the Hebrews 4 and 12, I believe, it talks about the word is sharp as any two-edged sword. It gets down into the marrow of the bone. That's where the real blood is at. That's where the blood that gives you life at. Keeps your bones sustained. Guess what's inside this marrow? Melanin. It's in everything that makes up you. Everything. Everything that makes up you. Come on, so look, with that being said, let's go to Exodus. We're going to go to the commandments and show how we supposed to keep them. By not keeping them, it messes with our psyche. Let's go to Exodus. Exodus 20. Let's get to these commandments. We're going to read them out first, and then we're going to go back through them. We're going to read them out first and then go back through them, because let's get some understanding.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Which what?
Brought you out of the land of Egypt.
Brought you out of sickness. Come on.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of what?
The house of bondage.
Out of the house of disease, plagues, sickness, calamity, destruction, iniquity, darkness, death. Come on.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt not have any other gods before me. Come on.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Any gods before me. Haru, Amen Ra, all these other gods. Nefertiti, all kinds of gods they be talking about. Says, thou should not make unto thee any graven images.
Like golden calves.
Golden calves. We're going to read about it. Golden calves come from Hebrew. Come from Egypt.
Yeah.
Come from the Egyptians. Yeah. Come on.
Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
Zodiacs. Yeah. Zodiacs.
Or that is in the earth beneath.
Come on.
Or that is in the water.
Water gods. He's an Aquarius. That's a water sign. I think that's what they say it is. A water sign. He's a Aquarius.
Right.
The water sign.
Scorpios.
Yeah, Scorpios. He's a Cancer. Yeah. It's a moon child. I'm saying we worshiping all these things. Worshiping all these things, but not the thing that made it. Not the creator that created the creation. That is a sickness. It's a sickness. Come on.
It said, "Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them.
Come on.
For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God."
You hear that? He's a jealous God. Hey, I know my woman better not be out here stanky legging doing all that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some problems. It's gonna be some problems. So I understand him when he say he's a jealous God. He's jealous over his possession.
Yeah.
That means he's overprotective. Come on.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
You hear that? You see how this sickness go down through the bloodline? That's why you notice when you go to the doctor, they be like, well, did your great-great-grandfather have heart disease? Like, what that got to do with me?
Right.
Oh, slavery and cursing is generational. It goes through the bloodline. Melanin is passed down. So destroyed melanin, destructive melanin is passed down too. Through what? Sickness, sin, which equals what? Death. Come on.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
That who?
Keep my commandments.
Come on.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
And that's not saying God damn me. It's just asking God to damn you, dumbass. Taking the Lord God's name in vain is what we did when we went into Egypt. What we do, we started acting like them, serving their gods. They was like, phew, it didn't take long at all to get these niggas off they square. Everybody worshiping Amalek, Amun-Ra, golden calves, the zodiacs. It ain't even been that long. It ain't even been 10 years. They stanky legging at the bottom of the mountain. That's a sickness. Come on.
Visiting the iniquity.
Right, come on.
For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
Come on.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
If you read in Jasher, they wasn't keeping the Sabbaths. Moses had to go plead with them, and then he finally was like, y'all can keep y'all Sabbaths. So we forgot the Sabbath day? See, everything we did in Egypt went against the commandments of God. Everything we did in Egypt was against the commandments of Yahweh. Everything. Which produced what? Sickness. Or you sick. You still going to church on Sundays and chilling out and going to the club on Saturdays? That's a sickness. You worshiping and following the stars and the moon? That's a sickness. You claiming you Egyptian? Don't know your true heritage? That is a sickness. So the question is, are you sick? Come on.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath day of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Right.
For 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and the sea, and all that is in it, in the midst, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
You hear that? Well, according to the Kemetic science and all of that, the earth is billions and billions and billions and billions of years old. We understand that, but there was a world before Adam and Hawa. There was a world before Adam and Eve. They don't talk about that though. You see how everything, your whole belief system, they took it from you and they gave you something else. Same thing in America. Your whole belief system, they took it from you and they gave you religion. So yes, Egypt worship, Egyptology, Kemet is a religion. It's a religion. We don't believe in a religion. The Bible don't speak on religion like that. It's mentioned religion one time, and that's in the book of James, and it said a pure religion. If you actually look that up, it was a belief system, a belief culture, not a belief curriculum. Something totally different. That's a sickness. You following a white man God. Makes no sense. You might as well still worship white Jesus. Or it's a lot of worshiping black Jesus that still ain't Yahweh Shah. They call him Yahweh Shah.
No. Fabricated.
Fabricated. Come on, you bro. That's a sickness, man.
Verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
So, from my understanding, Haru and them he was birthed through what? Incest?
Incest.
Incest through Horus and all kinds of other stuff going on. The moon did it to the sun and birthed the waters, and when he died, his father's male part fell off and she stuck it in herself, and all kinds of sexual incest went on to produce these guys. Ain't no honoring no mother and father going on within there. Look that up, the birth of Horus, Haru. It'll blow your mind. But we following this stuff. If you actually look into the hieroglyphics and look in the Book of the Dead, they sticking their penises in one another. Huh?
That shit trash.
Homosexuals, they don't make it to the kingdom of heaven. No. Then you wonder why the gay spirit running rampant in our community. That is a sickness. It's a sickness to lay a man and lay with another man knowing you can't produce life. It's a sickness for a woman to bump lips with another woman's lips, knowing you can't exchange sperm to produce life. What are you laying down for? For pleasure? For your wicked sicknesses, your desires? That is a mental illness. You're not producing nothing from it. That's an illness. To do something that you know won't gain anything or produce anything is a sickness.
Yeah. Man, the law of God is to keep man's mindset from Egypt.
Exactly.
Simple fact.
Say it again.
You know what I'm saying? The law of God. It was created to keep man's mindset from Egypt.
That's what
even
it was.
Before the law was, you know what I'm saying, before he even gave it to Moses or whatnot, the simple fact it was already in the land. The oral law was already in the land, and Pharaoh did nothing but took Satan's position.
That's all he did.
That's all he did. You know what I'm saying? Bondage represents sin, and Pharaoh was Satan. Satan has took the spiritual aspect of the scriptures. You know, he's Pharaoh, bro.
Most definitely.
And sin is bondage.
Most definitely.
And that shit. And we as Israel, you know what I'm saying, we're just taking the places of our forefathers. God does nothing new.
Yes, there's nothing new under the sun.
You know what I'm saying? That's why he says, look, the scriptures are written for your learning.
So Egypt is the opposite of Israel. Egyptian is the opposite.
For a second.
Yeah, it's all good. Egyptians is the opposite of Israelites. Huh? It's no such thing. Look, the 147 laws of Mayat and the 10 laws of God, which is way more, but it's all summed up in 10. If you actually read them verbatimly, they kind of saying the same things, but if you get into the guys that's connected with them, they saying something totally different.
And then don't they got like a god a day?
Yeah, they got a god for each day. 364 gods. Each day. For each day. So
if I'm in the wilderness, like shit, which god gonna show up?
I guess all 364.
If I need help, is God August 1st, Monday gonna show up?
But look, you peep, ain't none of they guys showed up because ain't nobody make it to that promised land. They wandered. They wandered for 50 years. 49 years.
Yeah, they wandered for 40 years. You know what I'm saying? Like the Israel did. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord always show up, bro. Just like
not Hotep Amen-Ra Kamakya. He ain't showing up. That represents sin. He made a difference between Egypt and Israel. It was a big difference. And look, two melanated people, showing that one have more melanin than the other. One secrete more. One pineal gland is bigger than the others. One pituitary gland is bigger than the others. We are a different race of people. Just because we look alike don't mean nothing. The blood that pumps in our veins is different. We have different ancestral bloodlines. We have different forefathers. They're Hamitic, we're Shemitic, we're Semitic. We come from Shem, they come from Ham. So two totally different people. Two totally different people. And when we become like them, we destroy ourselves.
Right, most definitely.
Come on, bro.
Different blood, man.
Straight up.
We got the blood of the sun.
Straight up.
Alright, verse 13. Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. Wasn't that what they was doing?
Right.
Killing us? When they killing us?
Mhm.
Killing us left and right. Come on.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
When they committing adultery, what was the whole reason behind Moshe killing dude?
Straight up.
He was sleeping with that man's wife. He killed dude. The dude kept going in Moshe people's crib, sleeping with his wife and beating on him, man. That was the murder behind that. Everybody think that Moses just killed somebody. Find out the reason why dude got murdered. Got killed. Come on.
Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not what?
Steal.
They stole our whole culture. They stole our identities and made us build their land. Same thing that's happening in America, KKK. Stole our identities, now we built America. And how ironic, you look on your dollar bill, you see what? A pyramid. You see Egypt. Bondage. Huh? Come on.
Thou shalt not.
Stop it right here. Go to Revelations 8 and 11 real quick. Yeah, 11 and 8.
You going back?
Yeah, hold your spot. Get that book out the way real quick. Cherry for your brother. Alright, come on with it.
Revelations 11 verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Which what?
Spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
So we see that Babylon, America, is spiritually called Sodom and what? Egypt. Sodomy. Where do you think the word sodomy come from? All that sodomy, all that gayness was going on. All them fags was out there. Then Egypt, bondage. Mental bondage, mental illness, sickness. What is on?
We got 14 minutes.
You see what I'm saying? So this is what this is equaling. Sin. Sickness. America is called Egypt now. Look up your dollar bill. It explains itself. All right, we back in Exodus.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife.
Come on.
Nor his manservants, nor his maidservants, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
All right, so look, we're going to stay right here, hold y'all places. We're going to get into this apocrypha for a little second. And then we're going to go through a couple of these commandments and show them what they did. And we're going to break it off from there. Let's see. Switch some things around real quick. I need this book up under here. Let's get her done. I'm gonna go to Sirach 30. Sirach 30, start at verse 15, Naki. We in the Apocrypha. If y'all don't got one, it's in the 1611 Bible edition in the middle. The Apocrypha. Got the red book, you can get this off of Amazon. It's a good read, and it links the Bible up. If it don't go against, if it goes with the Bible, count it good. If it goes against the scriptures, count it cursed. This lines up. That's where you get your Maccabees from. Explain the Feast of Dedication, and all kinds of things, man. So make sure y'all get that.
Prophecies.
Let's get it.
Sirach chapter 30, verse 15.
Do you
Health and good estate of the body are above all gold.
You hear that? Health and good estate of the what?
Body
Uh-huh.
or above all gold.
Or above all gold, above all wealth. So we have to make sure we focus on our health, but it starts mentally first. Mentally focus on your health. And how you mentally focus on your health is you stop sinning. Come on.
And a strong body above infinite wealth.
You hear that? A strong body is better than infinite wealth. So a healthy person is better than a rich man.
Most definitely.
Huh? Come on.
Yeah. He rich in spirit.
Most definitely.
There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. Death is better than bitter life of continual sickness.
You hear that? Death is better than continual sickness. You know why? Because sickness leads to what? Death. Self-explanatory. So stop sinning against your body. Stop causing you self-sickness. Stop causing it. By stop sinning. Simple. Come on.
All right. And then he said death
Yeah,
is
death.
better than bitter life.
Yeah.
Continual sickness. So it's just like shit. Death is better than life at this point.
Yeah.
It said delicate poured upon a mouth shut up, or a messes of meat set upon a grave.
Come on.
What good doeth the offering unto idols?
You hear that? What good do with the offering on the idols? What good is you offering to items? What good is you stanky legging around a golden calf? What good is you cutting life? Look, this is the crazy part. Y'all, when a tree is rooted to the ground, it is alive. It's alive. What good is you cutting the life from it, making it a dead tree, then turning it into a god? You was better off worshiping it when it was growing from the ground, which is still off.
Right.
But now you cut it, you shape and mold a god out of it, and then you give and sacrifice unto it. Is that a sickness or not? That's a mental illness.
Right.
Mental illness. Come on.
It says, what good doeth the offerings into an idol? For neither can it eat nor smell.
Come on.
So is he that is persecuted of the Lord.
Come on.
He seeth with his eyes and groaneth, as a eunuch that embraces a virgin and sight.
Come on, because you know a eunuch is probably somebody that don't have sex.
Right.
So he's around a king all day, but he's castrated basically. So he look at a woman, he never had one, so he just like, dang. Another one bites the dust, basically. Come on.
It said, get not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own conscience.
See, that's another
Right.
type of sickness, anxiety, stressful thinking. You think your way, you'll stress your way to the grave.
Sure.
As soon as you go to the doctor, you be like, my heart was hurting right here. I felt pain shooting up my neck. First thing they say is quit stressing, eat healthy, change your diet, get some sleep, nourish your melanin. Nourish your melanin. Quit sinning. Come on.
The gladness of the heart is the life of man.
Come on.
And the joyfulness of man prolongeth his days.
Come on.
Love thine own soul.
What?
Love thine own soul.
Come on.
And comfort thy heart.
Uh-huh.
Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed me.
You hear that? Sorrow. That's another part of this sickness. Sorrow.
Sure.
Always down about something. Just always down. Ain't never up. Everything is just sad. That's called depression. Depression. Depression is another sign of what? Sickness. And it usually comes from continual sin. That's a spirit. That's a spirit, a demon. And it's only come upon you through sinning. Because you opening up portals. I was like, oh, for real? You really gonna leave the door open like that? I'm finna attach myself to your gallbladder. Everything you think about gonna be depressing and sad. Your whole day gonna be messed up. Whole day. And if you don't starve and fast me out, I'm gonna continually do it with you. Now you got gallstones. Now you have kidney failure. Now you're on dialysis. Because you're always depressed. Everything is always negative. Nothing is never positive. You don't see the positive outcome of anything. You just pick out the negative in everything. This is a demon caused from sickness, developed by sin.
Right.
Come on.
It's all mental.
Yeah, most definitely.
It says, and there are no profit therein. Envy and wrath shortens the life.
Envy and wrath. We just read the 10 Commandments. You ain't supposed to covet.
Right.
Wrath. You ain't supposed to be killing, stealing.
Right.
You're supposed to be envying nothing. These are part of what? Sicknesses. It's a sickness, a disease, an illness. Huh? Come on.
It says, and carefulness bringeth age before the time.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Come on.
A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and die.
Read that again and read it slow.
A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and die.
Meat and die. Noah's always talking about that meat. These dainties, these meat. No excessive meat. No excessive meat. We ain't supposed to be eating meat like that, y'all. Again, not saying eating meat is a sin. And for and on the record, when we talk about melanin, we not talking about your pigment. We talking about what lies inside of your body. Crystallized carbon. That's what makes a man black. Not his skin color. Because what about Noah? He was albino, but he was blacker than a lot of y'all. Because he kept the commandments. He nourished his melanin by keeping the commandments. What make him blacker than a lot of people. Understand? Come on, let's go to Sirach 40.
Okay.
Sirach 40, we're going to start at 1. Let's get it done. Sirach 40, we're going to start at 1.
Ready?
Yep.
Sirach chapter 40, verse 1. Great travail is created for every man, and a heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam, from the day that they go out their mother's womb, to the day that they return to the mother of all things. Their imagination of things to come, and the day of death troubled their thoughts.
Whew, come on, start from 1 again.
Great travail.
Great what?
Travail.
Great travail. Great travail. Let's look up this definition, travail. Great travail. Or you sick? Huh? Or you sick? Is you having any of these symptoms? Or you following and doing any of these things? Or you worshiping other gods? Or you celebrating folly days, holidays? Or you committing adultery? You looking at your brother's wife? Women, are you disrespecting your man? You not letting him rule and run the house? He's not the head of the household? Children, are you disobeying your father and your mother? Huh? Y'all using the Lord God name in vain, knowing who you are and turning away from this truth, committing sinful acts, knowing you're supposed to be following these commandments, or you sick? And if the answer is yes, what are you doing about the cure? What is the cure?
Travail. Painful laborious efforts. Hardship. Provision. Stress.
Huh?
Stress.
Stress, travail, painful.
Struggle.
Stress, because when a woman giving birth, she stresses her body to the utmost, and she never did before. Stress. Travail. It's like a sickness. Picture you pushing a baby out of your womb. Most of y'all fathers have been in the delivery room. Y'all don't never want to go through that. Huh? Great travail have the son of man had under the sun. Sickness. Don't nobody want to go. That's painful. We basically taking the gun. This is what you doing when you sin. Every time you sin, you take your gun, put a bullet in the chamber, you swish it around, and you play Russian roulette with your soul. And you play Russian roulette with your soul. Come on, let's read. We got all that though?
Yeah.
All right, come on, let's get it.
Great travail is created for every man, and a heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam. From the day that they go out of their mother's womb to the day that they return to the mother of all things.
Come on.
Their imagination of things to come, and the day of death trouble their thoughts.
You hear that? The day of death trouble their thoughts. Why are your thoughts troubled by death? Because you ain't living right. You sick. You've been living in sin. Only person that's afraid of death is a person that know for a fact that they've been committing some folly acts out here. They've been living foolishness. Huh? Other than that, death is supposed to be a beautiful thing. I'm not saying welcome it on, but it's supposed to be a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see the Lord. But you're melanin deficient, and that's due to sickness. Sickness comes from sin. Sin leads into bondage. Bondage leads back to sickness. Sickness destroys more of your melanin. That equals disease, and being disease leads to death. That's why you're afraid of death. I get it. I understand. So are you sick? Or you sick? Or you following this cycle that all of our ancestors been going through, our forefathers? Or is you like Paul and them? You like Yahweh and the 12? Or is you like Satan and his fallen angels? You following Nimrod? You been Egyptian. You're in Egypt. You never left Egypt. You're Egyptian by the mindset. You're Greek. You worship Haru. You bow down to Amun Ra. Or you sick? Like, really ask yourself these, and again, where is the cure? What is the cure? Or is you so sick that there's no point of return? You so sick that you're lost in your sickness. Because a lot of people don't even know they sick. A lot of people don't know. Like a lot of people, like, look, for instance, a lot of people don't know they got HIV. Because they scared to check. They scared to go to the doctor. You scared to self-evaluate. You scared to examine self and look in the mirror. You scared. You don't want to face that demon. That demon gonna face you though. Or you sick? Like, really ask yourself that and do something about it. Come on, bro.
Trouble their thoughts and cause fear of the heart.
Mm-hmm.
From him that sitteth on a throne of glory, unto him that is humble in the earth and ashes. From him that weareth purple and a crown, unto him that is clothed with a linen frock.
Mm-hmm.
Wrath and envy, trouble and unquietness, fear of death and anger and strife.
Whew, start that over. Wrath. What is a wrath?
And
sickness. Come on.
Anger.
Uh-huh.
And envy.
Uh-huh.
Trouble.
Uh-huh.
And unquietness.
Come on.
Fear of death.
Uh-huh.
And anger.
All of these are emotions that's built up into stress. Stress causes sickness. It's all about that mind. All of these are negative thinking. Negative thinking destroys your melanin, which destroys your pineal gland, which destroys your pituitary gland, which destroys your thyroid glands. Now you got thyroid problems. All goes down into your stomach, destroying your stomach. Now your stomach messed up. You can't eat. Your hair is falling out because your lymph nodes messed up. Then your prostate ain't sitting right. Your prostate the size of a golf ball. Now you have cancer, mutating cells in your body. All because of what? All because of what? Sickness. What's that? That's sleep? Yeah, check that real quick. You might have to cut it a little short. All right, let's get it done.
Verse 5 again, Sirach 40, verse 5. Wrath and envy, trouble and unquietness, fear of death and anger and strife, and in time of rest upon his bed, his night sleep do change his knowledge.
Come on.
A little of nothing is his rest.
You hear that? He don't get rest. He's sick. Sick people don't rest till they dead. He's sick. He in too much pain to rest. Come on.
And afterwards he is in his sleep, as in the day of keeping watch.
Come on.
Troubled in the vision of his heart, as if he were escaped out of a battle.
Come on.
Just tired.
Mm-hmm.
When all is safe, he awakened and marveled that the fear was nothing. Such things happen unto all flesh,
Come on.
both man and beast.
True.
And that is sevenfold more upon sinners.
You hear that? Sevenfold. This sickness is 7 times more upon sinners. 7 times multiplied upon sinners. Come on with it. Right, 7.
Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation. Sirach 40 verse 9 again. Said death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulations, and the scorch.
Come on.
These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood.
So all these things that's pertaining to sickness is created for the wicked. Come on.
All things that are of the earth shall turn to the earth again.
So we came from the earth and we go back to the earth. So between this time, what are you doing? Are you spending your time being sick and sinning, or are you spending your time keeping the commandments and living healthy in a mind state? Huh? Come on.
And that which is of the waters do return to the sea.
We can stop that right there. From there, let's get that Songs of Solomon. Let's get that Songs of Solomon. Songs of Solomon. We're gonna read 15 through 19. And then we're gonna hit this Romans. And then we'll come back later. We just come back later and actually hit the commandments and break them all down. Since we're running out of time today. Let's get her done.
It's Songs of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 14. Lord, let his port be in disgrace before you. May he go out groaning and return cursing. Lord, may his life be pain and poverty and anxiety.
Pain, poverty, and anxiety. Sound like sickness, anxiety, fear. Fear is anxiety. You know what anxiety is? People have anxiety attacks. When your heart's beat up real fast. Yeah, you get a metallic taste in your mouth. You start tasting metal. You become faint. That's a demon that's attached to one of your organs or one of your lymph nodes or one of your glands. Anxiety. Come on.
May his sleep be painful and his awakening be anxious.
Come on.
May sleep be taken away from his temple at night.
You hear that? May sleep be taken away from his temple at night. May his body not get rest. You don't rest when you sick. You don't rest when you sinning. There's no peace for the wicked. Come on.
May he fail disgracefully in all works of his hands. May he return to his house empty-handed.
You hear that? So this is a prayer that Solomon is doing for his enemies.
Yeah.
Sounds like his daddy, don't it?
Yeah.
David, Psalms 109, a prayer for his enemies. Come on.
May his old age be loneliness, childlessness until his removal. May the flesh, may the flesh of those who try to impress people be scattered by wild animals.
Come on. So look, we're going to end it with this, and then we're going to go break down these commandments a little later. We might do the let first and then do the second half to this video. Just be looking out for it. One of them going to come first, though, within a couple days. So we're going to end it with Romans. We're going to end it with Romans 6, 12 to 26. Romans 6, 12 to 26. Again, are you sick? And if you're sick, where is the cure? Remember, sin leads to sickness. Sickness leads to death. All of this is made to destroy your God particles within you. This is what holds this promise, this covenant. You, the people of Israel, which is your melanin. And you produce this more than anybody on planet Earth. Your pineal gland is bigger than anybody's on planet Earth. You secrete more melanin than melanated people. You secreted more than melanated people because we are Israel. Stop destroying your carbon database. Stop destroying your crystallized carbon. Nutrients it. Remember, your body is made up of the God particle. These things make you who you are. They make you who you are. So let's quit sinning against ourselves and start following these laws and these statutes and these commandments. That way the judgment will be good on our side on Judgment Day. Come on, let's end it. We're going to end it with Romans 6. Start at verse 20.
All right. It says, for when ye were the servants of sin, you were free from righteousness.
You hear that? So when you was a servant of sin, you was free from righteousness. You was serving sin. You was serving sickness. Healthiness and righteousness was nowhere around you because you was serving sin. You was sold on to sin. Come on.
What fruit had ye then in those things whereof ye are now ashamed?
Come on.
For the end of those things is death.
Ain't no fruit from there. Just like ain't no fruit from being sick.
Right.
Well, there is a fruit. The fruit is death. So you plant sick seeds, death raise up from it.
You reap what you sow.
You reap what you sow. And guess what? Death don't really rise. So you never resurrect because you've been sick all your life. Quit destroying your body. Quit destroying your mind. Quit destroying your spirit. Quit destroying your soul. Stop it. But a lot of us can't because we're sick. Mental illness. I'm not going to speak that upon myself because you are what you speak. So we got to correct these things. We got to stop sinning. Come on.
But now being made free from sin.
Now being what?
Made free from sin.
Didn't he bring you out of Egypt with his right hand, made many miracles. He brought you from bondage. He brought you from this sickness. He gave you freedom and he gave you health. Why are we running back? Why are we going back? Because it's a sickness, a mental illness. Come on.
But now being made from sin and become servants of God, ye have your fruit unto holiness.
You heard it? Your fruit unto holiness. Guess what comes with holiness? Everlasting life, health. Come on.
And the everlasting life. For the wages of sin is death.
For the wages of sickness, for the wages of skin, for the wages of sin is what?
Death.
Death. Come on.
But the gift of God is eternal life.
But the gift of God is eternal life, healthiness, healthy mind state, following the commandments, keeping the Torah, keeping the law. Come on.
Through Jesus Christ.
Through who?
Jesus Christ.
That is the cure.
Our Lord.
Hey, our Lord and Savior.
Wages mean real quick.
Who? Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. He finna look up wages. So when we come back at y'all, we gonna go ahead and break down these 10 commandments and get into there and show y'all how we was just not keeping them in Egypt. We ran out of little time today, but we'll get back to it as soon as possible. Yahweh outside, which means most high willing. You know what I'm saying? He gonna look up this word and we gonna get up out of here.
Yeah, it says it look like opposition, but it's opposition. That's what it is. Opposition. It says a soldier's pay, allowance, support of the soldier's support given in place of pay, i.e., rations and the money in which is paid.
So the reward.
Right.
The reward of sin is death. You get paid death for sin. You know, you go to work. You go to work. So you go to work in sin. Guess what your weekly paycheck is? Death. So look, let's heal ourselves. Let's quit sinning against ourselves. Let's understand that we are carbon people. Let's understand what melanin really is. Let's quit using that word loosely and really start knowing ourselves. And when we know ourselves, we can do better. And if you don't do better, that just means you're still what? Sick. So let's cure this sickness. It just said that the cure was Jesus Christ, HaMashiach, Yahweh Shah. So with that being said, we're going to hit y'all with another one real soon. All praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem, HaMashiach, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah, Hallelujah. Long live the King, Olam Kaya Hamalak.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Like 2 days worth of